it's my time to shine. Let's go.
When your time comes, don't postpone it. When others doubt and out, you don't condone it.
Truth be told,
Yourself is your toughest opponent. When your moment comes, grab hold and own it. Never let go, stand tall and hold tight. Overcoming obstacles is the objective in life. Doubters overnight, now to them you shine bright.
Hi everyone, welcome to today's Man versus Theta
let's go.
When your
for
time comes, don't postpone
November
it. When
23rd.
others doubt and out, you don't condone it.
Truth be told,
Yourself is
So
your
let's
toughest
go
opponent.
through the watch list and take a look at the stocks that we had. First one was BA. So here's where the notes were wrong, but the comments from before and the levels from before were super important. So the notes I had on BA was watching for 199 to break, for dumping into 185 to 190. It was kind of going into the day a little bit bearish. And then we had the levels. And prior, I had said watch that 204 level and 210, 208, 210 level for the upside. So we actually ended up going long today on this. And this is where and how you can look at using the watch list. So we've got BA on the list. You can see here that we had 202 and 204. So if you were bearish, this is where at the open you can go, hey, you know what? It pushed after the first 15 minutes. We're kind of this and underneath VWAP, and go, okay, you know what? I'm going to go short. And you see the 202, the level here, and it starts bouncing. You can lock some in, and then if it comes back to VWAP or it goes over, you cut the rest, right? Because you're kind of thinking, hey, there's going to bounce or maybe reject 204, and then go back and break the 202 and see the 199, if that was the way you were planning to trade it. Now, the next thing is you can say here we have a double bottom off the 202 here on this this level. It then reclaimed VWAP in the first half an hour, came back and tested, and then broke over the 204 level right here. And in this case, it was actually 204.50, right? So the levels are not exact, but they're guides. And so you can see here, 204.50 ended up being the level here. Pushed, pulled, push, started moving again. You can go long right here at 205, stops at 204.50. Okay. Now, let's see what that does, right? So if we know that, and we know that the next level is around the 209, you've got a decent risk reward, right? So just on doing straight math, you've got 50 cents of risk for possible 5 points of upside. I'll take that trade any day. And so that's the one trade right there. And let's take a look at see what the 210, because it's Monday. Let's take a look at what the 210 calls would have done. All right, so if you got long, there's the dip. Here's the right here, and crossing over, roughly right around 10 o'clock, crossing over, get long, say 250, stops at probably $2, 225. Let's say 250 just to be a little bit more lenient, I guess. Let's say you got in about 250, stops at 2. We're risking 50 cents. So 3 to 1 would be 250 plus $1.50, so $4. So you can get in, boom, $4. And that's this move right here, right into the 209. When it got to this 209, you would have been able to sell for right around $4, $3.80 to $4, and got your 3 to 1 risk reward. Really, it was a much tighter one, which is roughly about 25 cents or 30 cents, which would have given you a 5 to 1 risk reward. You timed it and sized it appropriately that way. So that means you could have risked $300 to make $1,500 And so that's BA. That's the first one. Then the second setup on this trade is after lunch. So when it broke over this 209 after consolidation, go over this 209.50, could have got long, risking to drop back over underneath 209, right? So this push here, 210, and this is where getting in around $4 stops at say 350, and that went to 650 or so, and it's actually gapping after. See where this ends. But I think my thought on this, when I mentioned, was that there's a possibility that this actually goes to these 210s that we grabbed will potentially go to $10 more. Well, actually, I think I might be confusing BA with paper. But anyways, the idea is this goes to 220 or so, and let's see if that plays out. Okay, so that was BA. Next one is Tesla. Goal would be trade for consolidation, and so let's take a look. And then if it gets over 504, 508, then look for 520. And so that's what we got. We got immediately over the 504, 508 with crazy volume. That means we should immediately go long and can take 520 calls. And so the 520 calls today, what did they do? Okay, so we get long here. Normally wait, but I think we did push, pulled, push. And then when it got over here, we're still holding first 15 minutes. And so that would be here. First 15 minutes in this chop, right around $14. And one would have to risk to 12. So 14, risking to 12. And so you want to sell for so $17, 17 or $18. So, and it got to 18 right here, right into this, these pushes right here. You got 17 to 18. Not the best trade setup for waiting for the first 15 minutes. But if you got in on the 509 break, right in the first 15 minutes, that's where getting in roughly right around here at $11, 11 or $12, and then selling into 17 would have been nice. Okay, then once support established through after lunch, so now we can come through here. We can see we got a pullback consolidated during lunch, and it hung out here around $13, $14, and can get long, looking for the move higher. But really, what we were trading for was this. And then if you kind of believed in the bigger picture for the 550s coming after the consolidation, then this is where I alerted going long on the 530s or 540s, and that took a starter here, goal to add on any dip down toward VWAP, which we didn't quite get. We got here, but we didn't get VWAP right here that I want for the add. And so then just riding it for a gap up and swing. So let's see where that goes. Okay, square. Said with Bitcoin strength, looking for dips to get long for 210 plus into December. So on the open, we got the dip and started pushing, pulled back, and then on the reclaim right here over 203, or even on these dips right here, get long for the swing for 210 calls into December. So we're going to be looking at the, let's just say December monthlies and see how those did. Why not? So on these, double bottom, reclaim VWAP, get long here, $9, $9.20, and risk down to here, 750 or 8. Or actually, if you're buying the long on the dips here, right here, double bottom starts here. So here, right, roughly around 850, and then you just stop out. It breaks below 750, let's say $1. So you're holding for this swing now, and you're in, and then you just let it go, right? It either works or doesn't. All right, this was the double bottom here. Bad. It could have got in at $8, risking 50 cents, and then write it for the day. And so this is what I'm talking about when I say you can enter here or you can enter here, risking to the previous low. So enter here at say 820 or 8, risking to 750, 770, and you're now basically writing it for the day because this is where we take a swing for the day, getting in on this, anticipating an all-day move to the upside. And then if you did, that would have got you out at $10 if you got in out the same day, or if you're holding for the 210 plus move into December, then this could go. I'm thinking 220, 230 are coming in square, and so then this could turn into a double or triple on the swing position. Now, if you took instead of taking monthlies or for December, you could have gone with 1127s, and that would have been a bit more choppy, but similar idea. 180, risking to 150, and that went to 350, 380. So what you're looking for always, where this keeps coming back. Anyways, what we're always looking for is relative pricing compared to previous highs and lows. So in this case, a double bottom, starting an entry, and then risking the previous lows. So getting in, double bottom. Let's go to a similar chart so we don't have confusion there. Okay, so in this case, here's this, the double bottom, and 15 and 30. You can actually see here, here's an actually discrepancy. You can see here, double bottom right here at 1015. You can see one here at 150, 160, but here at the 1030, look at this. They were paying more. Even though this was an equal price, they were paying more for the options. So if you ever see a double bottom here and the options are higher like this, that's a strong buy signal. You can actually get long here at 2, risk to $1.80, and it went to $3 in a heartbeat. Okay, so that's square. So BLNK, I was saying look for a short. So I totally forgot about this, but look for a fail. We got in at 32, failed, and then one could have got short. Then we had the Citron come in right around here and say, this is way overvalued, and then that dumped, and then came, and then this is where later I had said, hey, because shorts are getting trapped in this, that if we break high day, we're gonna squeeze. So what you do is you see the support established, pushes rejected VWAP again, but as soon as it went here and then got over this 30 level that you saw, you can get long risking to this 29, right? And then, or even this 28, and say, hey, you know what? Take a starter, and then you load up right here at the 32 breakout, and then for this big move. So if you notice, a lot of what I do in the trading is I'm anticipating where are things going to go. Where should we stop out? And XPV, I actually missed this like this after I had the big what was it? Snap trade. And then the way it was just kind of moving, it's hard for me to chase these because I kind of want this VWAP pull. But it broke this, and after, so the way to trade it, if you were just going straight off the watch list, was push, fail, broke through, come here. We're looking to see if this fails. And one could go long going, hey, you know what? This is an all-day runner. If that was your thesis. But if it wasn't, you're just going straight off the levels. You can go here, push, came back, so test to this level support. Then get long here at the 64 level and risk to this level right here. And you can write it up here. You can see it dipped back on the 64 level, pushed, dipped again, go long here at the 65, risk to 64, and looking at, hey, where's the next level? So if you look from here, getting long around 64, 50, 65, you have 3 points of downside, and you have 8 points of upside. So that's a 2-to-1 risk reward. It's okay to go long because there's no resistance up until this next pivot level. So so that's how you can trade XPEV. And sorry guys if I'm just a bit tired. That's the let's talk about Snap. So the notes on Snap were gapping strong, call buying, but if 45 doesn't clear on open with volume, we'll consider a short and get back long at a lower price. Overall, looking for setup to run to 50 plus. So what we got was a big gap up. And this is where I said, hey, we got to sell into this gap because I was looking for 45, be right here and then dip and run. But instead we got this big gap. And so said, hey, follow our rules, sold everything up in this area right here. And then said, hey, I think we're going to flush. And then it can come back. And we saw a little bit of support build here and then chop, and then it kind of failed and looked like it was coming back to test this low 45.50s again. But and then we took it back long lower. So I was waiting for 44.80 and full gap fill for a long, but we'll take a look and see how this plays out. I think another dip, and if it can reclaim over this 47 level, then we take we can do that move over into 50 plus. All right, guys, I think that's where I'm going to cut off for the trades. There's the big things I wanted you guys to be aware of, like usual, was just joining the trends, looking for the support, looking at it relative to the watch list levels. And yeah. All right. Okay, then I will see you guys in the morning. Take care.